Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday morning, guys. I hope everyone is blessed. No Man United this weekend, so we're not stressed. That's what it's all about. We're happy. We're happy because you know what happened yesterday? Arsenal lost. Liverpool drew. It was kind of a nice day, wasn't it? It was a nice day. Obviously, the Man City result, Chelsea. But did Chelsea drew as well? Let's not forget that as well. For goodness sake, Chelsea drew as well. Happy days, you know what I mean? Happy days, guys. It was a decent day yesterday for Man United, for being all honest. We can't be sport. We can't have everything. But a lot of things went our way yesterday. And that was good news for Manchester United now. Now, let me get into some news around the club. But first of all, if you guys can do me a favor, please, could you subscribe to the channel if you're new? And also, could you kindly smash a like on the video? It does help the video. I know there's a lot of people come in. There's a lot of people visit who don't smash that like. Please, could you kindly do that for me? I really appreciate it. And it does help the algorithm of the video. And it does help the channel grow, of course, guys. Now, let's get into it. Before we get into the nitty gritty, of course, let's get into it, guys. Manchester United, of course, are interested in Elliot Anderson. Now there's rumors circulating around the world that Manchester United could be prepared to make a bid for Elliot Anderson in January to try and lure him away from the mittens, should I say, of Manchester City. Manchester City, of course, are also interested in Elliot Anderson, amongst other suitors, of course. Now, how can Manchester United do this deal? Now, Manchester United are prepared to put down a deposit on Elliot Anderson in a deal that could reach rumored 170 million overall, guys, over the course of time. Now, this is one way Man United could possibly do the deal in January. Man United don't have the funds, of course, to pay 100 million for a player like Elliot Anderson, but what they can do, they can pay an installment plan, guys. Loan.com, Bank FC. Absolutely, that is what we do. Interest FC, guys. Manchester United, 100 million valuation, 70 million interest, basically. So, in all honesty, Man United and Elliot Anderson would be a match made in heaven. I would love Elliot Anderson at Man United. But we also have to look at things in a more objective, in a more sensible, mature way. And this amount of money that Man United could be spending on Elliot Anderson, is it worth it? Now, look, guys, there's not many midfielders out there that are as good as Elliot Anderson, in particular in the Premier League. I know he's not fashionable. I know a lot of people say, oh, who's Elliot Anderson? Because his name's not Anderson in a Brazilian way. His name's not take away the Elliot and just have Anderson, and then he'll be, you know what I mean, he'll be worth it then, wouldn't he, at the end of the day? But Elliot Anderson, 100 million January transfer possibility that could raise way, way above 100 million, guys. Do you agree with that deal? Now, of course, look, guys, Man United on average spend around 200 million a summer. Recently, we spend around 200 million a summer. So would you be happy with a player like Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton, for example, or Elliot Anderson and a Baleba, or Elliot Anderson and a Angelo Stiller, you know, as a 200 million window, right? So we spend 200 million and there's your window, right? We got Elliot Anderson and we got Adam Wharton for argument's sake. I think that wouldn't be bad. I think a lot of people would be happy with that. Obviously, the squad, it wouldn't be fixed completely. It still wouldn't be a full rebuild. We still need the wing backs and stuff. We still need the attackers. We still need all this, don't we? So Elliot Anderson signing for Man United for 100 million. Now, look, when Declan Rice became available in the market, it was valued at 80 million, which is nowadays around 100, 120 million, if we're being honest, on obviously inflation and stuff like that. We said, no, we don't want Declan Rice, West Ham player, overrated British player and stuff like that. This is what people were saying. Now, I'm pretty sure that the Arsenal fans wouldn't say that it was a waste of money. I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't say it's a waste of money. I'm pretty sure that they're happy with the signing, you know, and now he's become a Ballon d'Or contender, as people know, you know. So do Man United make this move? Do Man United take advantage? And do Man United be bold and brave? Fortune favors the brave, as I've always said in life. Fortune favors the brave. And that is what it should be. Fortune does favor the brave. Elliot Anderson to Manchester United, 100+ million. Rumors circulating it's going to rise to around 170 million if Man United do the deal with an installment plan. That is something to look at, guys, and keep an ear out on that one, of course, guys. And the Elliot Anderson saga rumbles on. And so does the Baleba saga rumbles on, and the midfield saga rumbles on, of course, because Man United, of course, did not fix the midfield in the summer, of course, guys. And lo and behold, predictability, were after midfielders, as we predicted many, many moons ago, guys, as we know, guys, of course. Now, another little bit of transfer news, guys, coming out of the airways this last 24 hours is a young lad named Bradley Barcola. Bradley Barcola is a 23-year-old PSG left wing, right wing, and forward who currently plays for PSG, but his development has been somewhat stifled because of, obviously, he's been on the bench, he's been rotating and stuff. He is a highly rated player. Of course, a Lyon prodigy, of course, came from the Lyon ranks and signed for PSG with a big money move. Of course, but Man United could do a deal with PSG in January. In January, but there's a stipulation to this. Man United are admirers of Bradley Barcola, but Man United might refrain from doing that deal in January and move that deal onto the summer and do a swap deal with Marcus Rashford. Now, Marcus Rashford going to PSG, Bradley Barcola coming to Man United. Bradley Barcola, 23 years old, 18 caps for France, 3 goals, left wing, right wing, centre forward. Would you do that deal? How much is it going to cost Man United? Because let's be honest, guys. Bradley Barcola's valued at 70 million, right? He's valued at 70 million. Marcus Rashford, what is his valuation? What really is Marcus Rashford's valuation? 50? 60? Right now, look, let's be realistic, guys. What is Marcus Rashford's real valuation here? So if we're going to do a swap deal with PSG, we're going to do a swap deal with PSG, are we going to have to pay PSG some money? And this is the problem with swap deals, isn't it? Because obviously you get agent on this side, agent on that side. He wants money. He or she wants money. And that's what happens with swap deals, because they think, well, my player is more valuable than your player. So how comes, like, you know what I mean? So basically, if Man United do a swap deal, I think it would be good, because obviously we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Marcus Rashford goes to PSG. Bradley Barcola comes to Man United. Now, the other question is Bradley Barcola good enough? Of course, you know, and obviously this is a big question for Man United. I like him. I think he's a good player. Only 23 years old, can develop. 70 million. He's valued at 18 caps for France. It's no mean feat to have 18 caps for France, you know. Only 3 goals, but obviously some of those come as a substitution. A lot of those come as a substitution. So, look, Bradley Barcola to Man United isn't a bad shout. It isn't a bad shout. And especially if we do a swap deal with Marcus Rashford, because then you're bringing in a squad player or a player that can start from start if he performs well, of course, and you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I think that is a clever, mature move for Man United to do. It's something that we don't do. We don't use our ammunition to get transfers. We don't, like, for example, Rasmus Højlund or Anthony, you know, these players, or Sancho, for example. We don't use players to get players in. And it's something that we don't do often. We don't really do swap deals. I think the last swap deal was Mkhitaryan for Sanchez, of course, and we all know how that turned out, of course, guys. But obviously, Doué of PSG is absolutely generational. He's a generational player, and he's absolutely annihilating the French league at the moment. He's the next big thing. And Barcola can't get in the team. And obviously, that's not because of his talent. That's because you've got a player like Doué, who is doing fantastically well at PSG, and it's very hard to dismantle him out of the side. That's not to say that Barcola is no good, he's rubbish, because PSG wouldn't have purchased him from Lyon if they believed he was a rubbish player, to be honest with you. He is a good player, and I wouldn't mind doing a swap deal with PSG for Barcola and Rashford. We kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I think France, PSG would be a good move for Marcus Rashford. I really do. I think he'll do very well there. And it has been a while that PSG have been interested in Marcus Rashford. They have been interested in him for a while. Even back in the day when we defeated PSG in the Champions League, remember that penalty for Marcus Rashford? And we beat PSG 3-1 and went through on away goals. Oh, the good old days. That weren't even the good old days, to be honest with you. We ended up going out in the Champions League eventually. But yeah, look, Marcus Rashford and Barcola, for me, would represent something. Now, that's not to say that we set our sights only on Barcola and nobody else. We can use Marcus Rashford here, guys. We can use Marcus Rashford to our advantage to get players in, you know? And yeah, there you go. Now, that would be a far more realistic proposition in January for me. looking at the Anderson deal, this Anderson deal looks like it's going to rumble on until the summer. I know that Man United are interested in Anderson, but so are a lot of teams. So what Man United did, and as I said weeks ago, guys, Man United need to get the groundwork done on Anderson. Man United need to get something going on in regards to verbal agreement, gentleman's agreement, small cash deposit, anything, guys, you know, to get this Anderson deal done or solidified. Even if we do wait until the summer, we need some kind of agreement, because we don't want to be fighting Man City next summer for Elliot Anderson, and we're going to be wasting a lot of time for Elliot Anderson, if you know what I mean. And we have to think of things like, you know what, we got a lot of work to do, and Ineos have got a lot of work to do, and the Glazers, of course, guys. Absolutely, guys. Don't forget to smash a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, guys, and put your notifications on all that. Let's get through some of your comments, guys. Let's have a look at this, guys. Big up everyone in the stream. Big up Benny. What's going on? The big up typical Glazers. Let's load the club with more debt. Big up guy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope everything is blessed with you. Let me just read some of these comments. Good morning, Tyborg. How you doing, you legend? Hope you're doing well, my bro. Good morning, Sal. I must say, I don't see a future with Amram around anymore. The stubbornness to always do the same thing and expect different results will cost him. Player favoritism is my biggest worry. I'm going to get into that. I hope that proves me wrong, and I'm fully aware and wasn't fully backed, but this team shouldn't be playing much better with this lot. Wrong lineups, wrong subs, wrong attitude, and lineups. Absolutely. Now everyone is going to attack me. Look, it's not about attack. We're a democracy here, Tyborg. You know that. You're a good friend of the channel. You're a good friend of mine, Tyborg. And we all have our different opinions, and we all have our different analysts of what's going on at the moment. But one thing I would urge people to do, right? And I want to look at that. Number one, we're only 4 points from fourth place, right? 3 points from fourth place. That's number one, right? We win the game tomorrow. It's a big if, I know. But if we win the game tomorrow, we are joint fourth, right? With Chelsea. Number one, right? So the overreaction is a little bit unjustified. I know that there's certain games we should be winning. Now, when you're trying to change a culture at this football club, and I'm not preaching here, but when you're trying to change a culture at this football club, there's gonna be ins and outs and twists and turns, right? It's gonna be difficult to do that, of course. Now, when I think about Ruben Amorim, right? Number one, right? He had a 4 out of 10 window, right? And what I said last summer, I'm not a genius. It's pretty obvious that many of us will come back in a few months calling for Ruben Amorim's head because we are not getting the results that we need, because we didn't fix the squad sufficiently to get to where we got. Now, we don't know whether, if we brought the players in that he needed, we don't know whether, you know what, we would have been doing better, or he would have played a player there. He wouldn't have played these players. Now, you look at Dalot, Maguire, Shaw, Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Ahmad. All these players, guys, are not his, right? Getting the best out of these players, I don't really care about it, to be honest with you. I don't care about getting the best out of these players, because these players, they don't have a ceiling. They're done. They're sculptured. They're molded. They're already molded into something that is already there, guys. They're not good. There's no ceiling with these players. So improving these players, we should be getting the best out of these players. It's a dead argument, because at the end of the day, what is the best out of these players? They're older now. They're not going to get better. They're molded into what they already are. They already are what they are at the end of the day. And then you think about the substitutions, like you said there. Okay, the substitutions. Who do you want him to bring on? Casemiro was heaving against West Ham. He was on his knees. We bring on Ugarte. Ugarte. You know Ugarte, 50, 60 million pound player. You know, not Ruben Amorim's player, by the way. So if that's not working, what do you want Ruben Amorim to do? Not make substitutions. And this is what we're saying. So isn't that unfair on Ruben Amorim, that because of the incompetence of the board, because of the incompetence of Ineos, he can't make substitutions? Don't you think that's a little bit unfair? So hindsight's a beautiful thing. When we made the substitutions, Tyborg, and during that game against West Ham, many people in the stream saying, yeah, great subs. But we know, as well as you know, that these players are not good enough, especially the players coming off the bench. Now, people can argue with me and say, oh, but why does he play Bruno as a number 8? Favoritism, all this business. Okay, let me just give you a piece of news, guys, because I am connected to the club, okay? Ill discipline from players will cost you positions, right? Kobbie Mainoo, a number of issues have happened with Kobbie Mainoo that I'm not going to criminate myself on here, but lots of issues have happened with Kobbie Mainoo. behind the scenes. And Ruben Amorim said it himself a few months ago. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? So what do you want him to do? Play an ill-disciplined player? And even when that player comes on, we don't improve. You can see it. We don't improve. This is a myth that Mainu is going to change Man United. Mainu can do this. Mainu could do that. There's a reason that Bruno's playing. I don't agree with Bruno. I think we should have sold Bruno, as I said, in the summer and brought in another player. That's what we should have done. But that is down on the board. Not just Ruben Amorim, that's on the board. In regards to favoritism, every manager has his favorites. Sir Alex Ferguson had his favorites. Everyone has their favorites. Now, what we have to understand is this. We can have a player, right, like Kobbie Mainoo, who can come on the pitch, everyone will be happy, and we can play him, right? But he's ill-disciplined, he's miserable, he doesn't want to, he doesn't run enough, he's too slow, he's sluggish. Or we can have a player like Bruno's professional, but cost us games, and, he's a bit rash and he's ill-disciplined with his positions. It's a conundrum that we have to look at, and this is precisely why Man United needed a full rebuild. An overhaul. What does an overhaul mean? You know what I mean? An overhaul means every player, almost to a man, out the door. That is what overhaul is. And this is something that we haven't had. Now, I get disgruntled and I get disillusioned when people go straight to the manager. I don't believe in him. He's this, he's that, he's this. 3 points on fourth place. Is this, is that, is this, and, not mentioning Ineos, not mentioning the Glazers, slyly mention it, in the background of the conversation. I know he didn't get a good window, but he should be doing better with his players. That's a Glazeronomic opinion. Now, I sat there in 2005 in my red, green and gold scarf. I'm Glazers out all day long. Guitar in, full sail in all day long. Right? That's what I am. I knew that Ineos would not have the tools, the facilities to do the job. Now, no matter what manager, Ruben Amorim may never be the manager that we want him to be. But when you look at the manager pool of managers around, at least Ruben Amorim has played in the Champions League. He's done it in the Champions League. He's won trophies. Who else that? Areola, who hasn't won in 5. Glasner. Who's there that can come in and change this bunch of Man United players? We should be doing better. Man United didn't help. We should be doing better. Man United, everything about Man United should be doing better. The board, the manager, the players, the medical staff, everyone at Man United should be doing better. The manager out conversation is a simple argument. It's a simpleton thing. Get the manager out. I don't believe him. And it's so simple to do. So simple to do. You could say, all right, the manager needs to go, but these players need to go too. That board need to have a proper word of themselves, and they need to back whatever managers in this football club, and they need to back Ruben Amorim if they're going to keep Ruben Amorim. Now, some people argued yesterday about, well, we have to do something. Why don't we do something then? And that something being something that we haven't done before. Why don't we keep the manager? And why don't we get rid of the players? And instead of sacking the manager until it works, why don't we get rid of these players until it works? You know what I mean? Instead of doing the same thing again and again, insanity. With all due respect, everyone's entitled to their opinion and all that. But I'm going to come up. This is the counter argument to that. There's many levels to this. Multi-layered problems at this football club. Manager is a slice of the layer. He's one piece of paper of the layer in a big dossier of layers of problems at this football club. And that is what it is. Right? As a guy, 40 years of supporting this football club, I have every right to have high standards because I've seen high standards. I supported Man United because of the Busby Bays, because of our history, not because we won trophies in 1993 and 94 and 95 and 98 and 99 and 2000 and 1, 2, 3. Not because of that. I was a Man United fan 86, 87, 88, 89 until I went to my first final in 1990 and I saw us win an FA Cup. Right? Shouldn't it be me who's going to the top of the tree, top of the mountain and saying, get him out of my football club? Now, there's something called a Mandem opinion. And the Mandem opinion is something that I've been speaking a lot this week about. Mandem opinion. Mandem opinion is get him out of my football club. He's a problem. He's scum. He's a Portuguese fraud. He's this and that and that and this and that and that. Not looking at things from a multi-layered point of view and a contextual point of view, cultural point of view in regards to the football club. They're not looking at that. They're just looking solely on the front page of the book, which is Ruben Amorim. Okay, so Ruben Amorim is the front page of the book. The Glazers love that. Perfecto. What? Lovely. They love that. That's what they love. Now, Ruben Amorim, as I said, I clarify. Ruben Amorim might not be that guy. He might not be that guy. He might not be the guy. He might get sacked. He might lose to Wolves tomorrow. It might all go tits upwards and whatever. But one thing we have to do is call things, and I spoke about it on the terrace the other day, football terrace with Terry. One thing we have to do, right, is we have to look at things from multi-layered, from a bird's eye point of view, right? Because at the end of the day, no, Tyborg, the players are not the biggest problem. The Glazers are the biggest problem. Ineos are the biggest problem. You know, those are the biggest problem. The players, you could say the players come, the players go. The players come, players go. Players are players. But if you got the culture and the structure at the football club wrong, we know that it's going to resonate down to the rest of the squad and the rest of the team and the rest of the football club. You know? And that's something that I will bring in. I want nothing but success for this football club. You want nothing but success for this football club. We all want success for this football club. But we have to think smartly and maturely. I don't work off emotions. This is why I don't do match reactions after the match, because I know I might say things I regret and I might start screaming and shouting and spitting everywhere. You know what I mean? Meet me in a car park or whatever in Abu Dhabi and things like that. Do you know what I mean? I might start doing things like that. You know what I mean? So I don't tend to do match reactions and things like that. And this is what I would say. Right. Thank you, Tybo. Big up yourself. Hope you're well, brother. Good to see you back, of course. Guys, absolutely. Big up everyone, of course, in the stream who's joined me today. Sal, ready to go. Big up, Bull Bars One. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Ephraim, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Sal. Good morning, Ephraim. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Sanjay. Hope you're well. Typical Glazers, let's load the club with more debt. Yeah, and Ineos. Ephraim, Sal, spot on. They need to back him in January. Absolutely, man. Big up. Yeah, absolutely. Big up. So good you said it twice. Mr. Renaso, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Aside from the reporting, what do you want to see happening in January and with who? These fans are going to keep the hysteria going if Ruben doesn't get the help he needs. You know what, Mr. Ray? No, so I've come to know you after this last 48 hours or something. You come up with a lot of intelligent stuff and everything like that. And that's another intelligent comment, mate. What I would say is that, you know, what's happening, the noise around the football club, in particular, a certain section of fans is just going to get louder and louder. And this is the biggest problem that we have. The only thing that Ruben Amorim can do is try and win football matches. And I would urge Ruben Amorim to concentrate on winning football matches. That's all I would do. You know, it's going to be difficult. There's lots of difficult games to come in. There's the AFCON coming, but he hasn't been helped. He hasn't been helped. And this is something that I will bring into the next manager. If a next manager comes in, the next manager is going to have the same problems as Ruben Amorim. And we're going to be round and round and round we go, you know, and it's just insanity. And, you know, a lot of the fans, even the most patient fans, are now starting to go, oh, Ruben Amorim, the tactics and this and the tactics and that. You know, look, at the end of the day, it's like I said at the beginning of the show, we only know so much of what's going on at the football club. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes in regards to Kobe Mainu and stuff like we don't know what's going on behind the scenes 100%. I've been told a few things, but, you know, at the end of the day, in regards to substitutions and in-game management, I just don't see the argument here because, you know what do you want him to do? You just don't want him to make substitutions. And then people will say, oh, but bring in young players. Bring in young players in this environment. I mean, you know, it's ridiculous. I mean, we could have bought and shared Lacey, we might have lost. You know what I mean? This is the thing, right? Fickle world of football. Ruben Amorim's not exempt from criticism, and we will always criticize, but not believing in him and not saying, get him out of my club and he's not good enough and stuff like that. It just doesn't resonate with me. It just, you know, because it's an easy thing to do. Just blame the manager and not mention, Sal, what is needed to make Ruben Amorim succeed? Sal, what is needed to make Manchester United succeed? Sal, what do you think about Ineos? Why Ineos this is expected because Ineos gave a 4 out of 10 window. You know, they only fixed the attack, but they didn't fix the wing backs and didn't fix the goalkeeper. They fixed it in the last minute, didn't fix the midfield, which is the engine of the team. And this is the thing, you know what I mean? And it drives me absolutely bonkers, you know? We live in a democracy. Everyone wants to do the same thing again and again and expect different results. That's absolutely fine. I find it insane. But at the end of the day, let them scream to the rooftop, just like I said under Erik ten Hag. And I was proven right. Things won't change. We still got the same structure at the football club. You know, we still got the same habits at the football club. The ownership at the football club is still the same. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Glazers should have been left this football club. Ineos should not have facilitated them. And maybe, just maybe, we might have been more successful no matter who bought this club fully, if anyone would have bought this club fully. Now, we are where we are. And look, guys, we're not at the bottom of the league. Subject to popular belief, we lost 1 game in 7. That's like, you know, quite decent for this squad. You're getting the best out of this squad, right? So Tyborg said, we need to get the best out of the squad. Well, one loss in 7 games is the best out of the squad. Winning away at Anfield is the best out of the squad. Beating Chelsea is the best out of this squad. Beating Brighton is the best out of this squad. That is the best out of this squad. That is the best you're going to get. With all due respect, that's the best you're going to get. This squad ain't going to get any better than that. You know what I mean? You could talk about, oh, we came 3rd that day and we're 2nd that time on the COVID season and stuff like that. And we came this, we done this and that, this, whatnot. When players were 5 years younger. You know what I mean? And you could talk about that all day long till the cows come home. But this club, if we're going to change the mentality of this club, rather than a counter-attacking football club to a football club that are on the front foot, you need to feel it. You need to change it. You need to back him. You need to get the players in that he needs. That's what you need. You need to get the players in that he needs. You need to get the players in that suit his system. If you bring a manager in with a distinctive style of play, you don't just get 1 or 2 players. You get a full new team, just like Chelsea do, just like Liverpool do, just like Arsenal do. And you look at Arsenal's first season and look at the first season of Arsenal. Only 1 player is still at the football club, which is Saka, who played as a left back when he first walked into Arsenal. Now, then you look at the second season of Arsenal, and you see 70% of that team change. We have not even touched the surface in regards to rebuild or regards to an overhaul. Absolutely. Big up, Mr. Reynolds, so you legend. Fighting Man City for Anderson's signature and use not in the Champions League will be wasting our time. Get the deal now, absolutely, while we have a chance to get Champions League, sell Anderson the project. Exactly, this is what we're talking about, Benny, about the January window. So this could be expensive. One thing about it, Ben, is this could be expensive for Man United. This could be a very, very expensive deal to do. Obviously, if Man United want to do something in January, right? And you're absolutely spot on. Man United do need to do it in January because obviously when if Man United don't qualify for the Champions League, right? Man City come calling, Anderson's going to go, I want Man City. It's as simple as that. We know it. We don't need to say anything else. But if Man United want this player, they need to do something now, as you said there, Benny. And as I've said, they need to get the groundwork doing now. And I would like to hope that we are going to get the groundwork. I'm hearing that Man United are going to do a bid in January. That would be like an installment plan that will rise up to 150, 170 million. Is that too much? Then you think, well, then again, Liverpool paid 150 million for works and things like that. So these days, inflation and all that, you have to pay for what it is. It is what it is at the end of the day. These days, you have to do that. And I agree 100%. I mean, they can't wait until the summer to do this. They have to start getting the groundwork done now. And that's what I would say. Absolutely. Morning, William. How you doing, you legend? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're blessed. Absolutely. Big up, Earth fan. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Back to the top 4. Here we go. Man United need to win on Monday. Man United win on Monday, subject to popular belief. Looking at social media, looking at some people, you would have thought we were 14th, not 4th, if we win on Monday. Guys, let me clarify. I know Man United. When Man United are given an opportunity, those players, guys, again, I'm going to bring this in because, again, those same players, the 10 years, guys, whenever they're given an opportunity, they don't take the opportunity. Whenever they're given the opportunity, they do not take the opportunity, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Whenever they're given the opportunity, guys, they do not take it. And that is the thing. And this is not just Ruben Amorim. This is not just Ruben Amorim, guys. This goes far beyond Ruben Amorim. This goes beyond anything, guys. This goes beyond 10 years, guys, of what it is. So I'm gonna bring this into the show, guys, right? And I want you to listen because I brought this into the show because I think this guy here, he says it exactly how it is, guys. And I think it's very, very important that we listen to this because at the end of the day, let me see if I still got it first. At the end of the day, there's a lot of disgruntlement and talk, of course, about it. Okay, so guys, let me just put this up.
We didn't lose yesterday because of the 3-4-3. Let's face the real issues. Let's face the real issues. We did not lose yesterday's game because Ruben Amorim was our manager. Yes, he has a blame, which I'm going to talk about. He has a blame. And I think I will say that in fact of who is responsible for the mentality of the team? The manager. Who is responsible for understanding the emotional and mental button of his team? The manager. But yesterday's game, in my own view, is what I've seen for 10 years in Manchester United. Manchester United as a team doesn't know how to take advantages or use advantages. How many times in our era have we come to a position where we say, if we win this our next game, we will move from this place to top 4, or we will move from here to first. And then the game we are saying that if we win, we come. And when that game comes, we lose it hopefully. It might even be against a team that is not good. We will just say, if you can just win, these people are not that okay. If you can just win them, we will just get to top 4, or we'll get to first, or we'll get to second. And how many times have we seen that over the years? That when that game actually now come and we play, they beat us woefully. The ability to make use of advantages is not in our blood. It has not been there for 10 years. So in as much as Ruben Amorim has blame,
played that one before, but that is exactly what I'm talking about. These players, and you're talking about players who've been there for many years, because there are players who've been at our football club for many years. There's players that have been there for a long time that are flattered to deceive. And when they've been given opportunities, they haven't taken the opportunities. This is the thing. They don't take the opportunity, and this is not a Ruben Amorim thing. This is going back to Erik ten Hag. This is going back to that. And it just goes back and back, doesn't it? And at the end of the day, there has been times when we could have came first. If we win today, we'd be first. And we don't take the opportunity. Now, that comes from a mentality. That comes from a cultural problem at the football club, a problem that these players are not winners. Because winning, you need a certain character. Some people are scared of winning. I honestly think that Man United are scared of being up there. They're scared of being at the top. They're very, very. They're playing like they're playing in sand. When it's a chance to get up the top of the league, they're playing like they're playing in sand. Now, again, Man United have been handed a golden opportunity tomorrow again, right, to come in the top 4, joint top 4, right? So Man United got a golden opportunity here, right? And here we go. Can they take that opportunity tomorrow? Can they do it tomorrow? Finally, take the opportunity that we need to take. They have to, because there's only so many games that we're going to have that, is going to give us an opportunity to move into that top 4. There's going to be, if we don't take it tomorrow, there's going to be tougher games coming around the corner. We're going to end up playing Villa away, City, and all these teams. And, we're not going to get that opportunity. We're not going to have that opportunity again. So this is what we're saying. At the beginning, we wanted 3 wins out of 3. We didn't get the win against West Ham. That's Premier League football at the end of the day. Arsenal lost to Aston Villa yesterday. This is football, Premier League football. Chelsea drew with Bournemouth yesterday. This is Premier League football. Liverpool drew with Leeds yesterday. This is Premier League football, right? My only thing is this. We need to try something. We need to think about the game tomorrow and think, right, this is not an opportunity. This is just 3 points. Because if we carry on thinking like that, we're just gonna get nervous and we're gonna let it get to us. Because it's quite obvious that we let the nerves and we let the anxiety get to us. And this is something that has been going on at Man United for many, many years now. It's something that has been highlighted for me in regards to the mentality at Man United for many, many years now. So are we gonna change the record? Are we gonna change the narrative? And that is one thing about it, what I would say. Hopefully we do, of course. Irfan, facts. Man United need new players. Don't know what that means. Big up. We said it after the Everton game. The real lack of quality in our squad is really blatant now. And this is what we're saying. There's no ceiling for these players. These players have been molded. They're already Michelangelo stature, already molded. They're already ancient fossils, guys. They're not going to be molded into anything. I don't want to hear get the best out of that football team, because at the end of the day, that's a Glazeronomics thing to say. Get the best out of that football team. You know what I mean? Mark, morning, Sal. I hope you're good. Good to see you, Mark. Hope you're doing well. I've come to the conclusion that we are running on vibes. We don't have a team, no strategy, no leadership, no disciplines. Spearheaded by awful ownership, royally screwed. Big up, Mark. Guys, look, I would say we have got an opportunity, Mark, tomorrow. I know that we never take the opportunity, but we've got an opportunity to come top 4. Anyone will think we're 14th at the moment, you know what I mean? But we have got an opportunity to come top 4 tomorrow. And you know what? You never know, it might happen. We hope so. Fingers crossed that it happens, you know? And then we can go on for there, hopefully. But I absolutely agree. Our quality in the squad is not good enough. The quality, most importantly, the quality in the squad is not good enough. Spearheaded by, obviously, the ownership, which is not supporting the manager to the level that they need to support the manager. Do you know what I mean? This is what I say. Good morning, Darren. Hope you're doing well. I'm never getting all what he wanted in one summer. He needs at least 3 to get what he wants. He never getting all what we got because we got Ineos. That's why. If we had Qatar, he would have had everything he wanted. I mean, not to fix the midfield, which is the engine of the team, Darren, is criminal. It's criminal. Getting in Bremo, Cunha, and Sesko, and last-minute goalkeeper, which cost us points, by the way, because we got it so late, is criminal. Not getting any wing backs, not getting any midfielders, not getting anything is criminal. You know? So I don't take them. I don't let them off the hook. I don't say, well, he's never going to get that many transfers in one window anyway. Look at Liverpool. Look at Arsenal. Look at Chelsea. Look at these teams who get what they want. Sunderland had a better window than us, for crying out loud. Sunderland. You know, and we're here. We came 15th. We're the biggest club in England. Obviously, we are the biggest club in England, one of the biggest clubs in the world, top 3 in the world. And we're like, oh, we came 15th. And we're like, oh, yeah, well, you know, we keep Bruno. Let's save a bit of money here. You know, and that's the problem at Man United. You know, problem at Man United is it's like basically, you know, how would I say it? Don't know how to say it, but it's like reusing something again and again and again when it's not meant to be reused. Do you know what I mean? It's like a dirty towel. You know, that you keep using it again and again. You're not washing it, but you're using it again and again to save money. You know? And that's the problem. Big up, Darren. How you doing, my friend? Big up yourself. Good comment, my friend. Hope you're well. Make sure you like the video, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to come into the channel and support the channel. Say thank you so much, Mark. Thank you. Let's get up to 50 likes today, guys. If we could do that, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Ty, but I don't think I mentioned the ownership probably because it's obvious to me that they are the biggest problem. You mentioned that the players are the biggest problem. And then the players, it doesn't even worth it to spend a word on it anymore. It's just obvious. It's not obvious because obviously it's the biggest problem at Man United. You know, it's the biggest problem at Man United. So we're taking the energy off them and bringing it to the manager. That's what we're doing. When the manager's performing how he is because of them. So when we're saying, I don't believe in the manager needs to leave the football club, ignoring what's up there. You know what I mean? The reason why the performances are not being good, you know, we have to mention them, Tyborg. We have to mention them. You don't just ignore them, say that it's pretty obvious. No, you want to be defensive. It's fine. You want to twist it. It's fine. I respect you and I respect your opinion. You're a Man United fan. I've got a lot of love for Man United fans. But one thing we have to understand, you do not say, oh, well, it's obvious. Because that's the blasé attitude that the Glazers want. That's a blasé attitude. Well, it's obvious the Glazers are the problem. But Ruben Amorim, then we bring in another manager, right? And then we're going to be saying the Glazers are the problem, get him out as well. The Glazers are the problem, get him out as well. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And this is my opinion. This is what I'm saying. This is what I mean. It's not obvious to some people, quite obviously. It's not obvious to a lot of people that the Glazers and Ineos, because what I'm seeing on social media, what I'm seeing around the airwaves, I'm not seeing Glazers and Ineos. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing Ruben Amorim. And you led the argument with Ruben Amorim. You know, and it's not that it's obvious. You know what I mean? Benny, Just had a quick look there, Sal. Alex Ferguson signed 21 players before he got it right and finally won us a league. Amarim has signed 4 players and we want a miracle. Exactly. And didn't Cristiano Ronaldo talk about a miracle? Wasn't it Cristiano Ronaldo, the great Cristiano Ronaldo, who spoke about a miracle at Man United? They're expecting a miracle from Ruben Amarim. He's absolutely right. Absolutely. Possibility, Anderson 100 million in January, but loan him back until the end of the season. Could be a possibility, Donin. Could be a possibility, of course. Lots of ins and outs and twists and turns are going to happen this next few weeks, believe me. So hopefully Man United just get some groundwork done on Anderson, because if we lose out on Anderson, he's going to City. And what's that going to do for City? That's going to improve City, isn't it, at the end of the day? Tybog, I must say that after my probably controversial comment, it's nice to see that we have a proper discussion about it. This is how it should be. Tybog, at the end of the day, my brother, we're all in the same boat, man. This is what I don't understand. We're all in the same boat. We want a successful Man United. I'm tired. I come on it every single day. I don't take a day. I speak about Man United. I go on other channels with chest, battling for Man United. Man United. I do it with chest. And these players let me down. They let me down. Ruben Amarim's not telling Ahmad to hit the first man every time. He's not telling the players not to run, because I tell you what, Tybo, one of the overriding things that I saw, which struck me again at the weekend, was the fact that I'm seeing walking on the pitch. Walking. Ruben Amarim doesn't go in the dressing room and say to those players, listen, I don't want you to play in an intensity. I want you to walk. I want you to take it easy. I want you to relax. Do you think Ruben Amarim does that? Now, you can lead a cow to the river, Tyborg. It doesn't mean they're going to drink out the river, does it? You can tell these players who serial underperformed for 10 years, perform for me today, get the intensity, get your foot stuck in. They could do it in training and they can manipulate you and lies. And as I said on Terry's channel, these players are liars. Right? And this is exactly, they can lie to you. No matter what you do, you can own a business, right? And you can tell your team, guys, we need this deadline, we need this, we need that. If they don't meet the deadline, that's on them. That's on them. I've given you the facilities, I've given you the training, I'm giving you that. Ultimately, it is down to the players, it's down to the board to supply the manager with the players and the tools. Ted Bundy FC, I said, because they're serial failures. And this is what we have. This is what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Some stage we will have to stick with a manager and give in the proper support. Absolutely. Big up Coco. What's going on, my friend? Big up Sal. Loving this conversation. I'm beyond fed up with the manager out brigade, simplistic minds full of insanity. And look, at the end of the day, Coco, if someone comes up to me and say I want the manager out, the first thing I want, I say is why, how, what's the reason? Oh, the results, and we came 15th and that. Okay, so he had a 4 out of 10 window. What do you want him to do with these bunch of players? Oh, well, he should be getting the best out of these players. Okay, so what if they don't want to play for him? Again, just like they didn't play for Erik ten Hag and they didn't play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Oh, well, but he should still do better than, what other managers done better. But at the end of the day, those managers stuck with the same culture. Ruben Amarim is trying to change a culture at the football club. So what do you want him to do? And again, why aren't he being backed by the board to bring in the players that fit his system? And this is what we can go round and round in circles. Round and round in circles. The one thing I will not do is I will not think that it's obvious. I would always call out the Glazers, because this has been one of the linchpins, the pioneers of what has been wrong with Man United over the last 15 odd years, 20 years. This is what's been wrong. It's been the Glazers. So 20 years is a big portion of my life that the Glazers have been in charge of this bloody football club. So I'm never going to discount them. I'm never, because at the end of the day, the reason managers are not succeeding is because the fact is we're owned by absolute leeches and we're owned by absolute incompetent people. And that's what it is. And that will continue. So this is always going to be an issue. We are always going to be underachieving, and that's what it is. Coco, it's simple logic that most managers will do better and show progress with 6 years, 1 billion and full backing. Exactly. Just like Usna. But these slow pokes are brainwashed and fixated on the manager. Exactly. Spot on, Coco. Couldn't said it better. $1 billion. $1 billion Arteta has spent. Liverpool spent $500 million in the summer, and we're nitpicking. People think, oh, but Man United spent 200 million. Man United got rid of Anthony, Rasmus, Rashford, Varane left. No more, but we got less players than we did last season. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what are we expecting here? Can someone please explain to me? You know what I mean? These players are what they are. It does exactly what it says on the tin. They are what they are. They're not going to get any better. As I said, molded sculptures. You can mold that team into something. Mold it into something. They're already molded, for God's sake. I can't remold this bloody mug. Because I can't, you know what I mean? It can't be remolded. I can melt it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Try and melt it down and stuff. It's not going to be remolded into a masterpiece, is it? Sal, you know this mug? I want you to turn it into a vase. A big vase, yeah? I want you to do that. How am I going to do that? Please explain to me, how on earth am I going to do that? I told you these man them really fancy Bruno. You can't really call out the erratic plays because apparently he's a United legend. People forget he's been there to European finals and didn't win. Yeah, and this is why I feel sorry for Ruben Amorim, Dave, because Ruben Amorim is left in between a stone and a hard place. Bruno Fernandes is deemed a £100 million player that the board didn't sell. So now they're saying to Ruben Amorim, you have to play him. He's worth 100 million. We have to keep his valuation up. And obviously, Mainu's still disciplined. Mainu said these things to Ruben Amorim, which I'm not going to say on here, which is why he's not playing, by the way. And basically, you know what? You're going to have to just play Bruno and see if it works. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I do feel sorry for him, but Bruno legend, for goodness me. I think you and me are more of a legend than Bruno. Honest to God. The petulance in this guy is unbelievable. Guys, if a captain of the ship if the captain of the ship continues to sink the ship, doesn't the captain get the blame? You know, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, I mean, if the captain of the ship doesn't look around the ship and see leaks here, leaks there, for goodness sake, Titanic FC, mate. You know what I mean? Damn, too much true. Big up, Coco. Unbeaten in 7 is literally the best out of this squad in years. Let that sink in. Exactly. You've got to get the best out of this squad. 1 loss in 7. All right, we're not winning every game, but guys, we've had some monumental wins here. We beat Liverpool away, first time since 2016. Didn't we beat Brighton for the first time in 5 years or something like that? Didn't we beat that in first time? We beat Chelsea as well, guys. Absolutely. We beat Burnley and Sunderland, and they're doing pretty well this season and stuff. Look, guys, nowhere near where we want to be. Of course, I'm not saying that, but guys, this reaction is just tone it down. We win tomorrow, we're top 4. Theoretically, okay? We're top 4. If someone said to you at the beginning of the season, in December, Christmas maybe, right? Man United would be in the top 4. Please, tell me what you would have said and don't lie to me. Don't lie to me because you know as well as I know that we would say, yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. That's good. We'll take that. Man United played the opening 10 games. 40% of the opening 10 games were against teams in the top 4 last season. 40%. Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool in the opening 10 games of the season, guys. Man City and Liverpool were away from home. You know, guys, listen, I know it's not good enough. The West Ham game wasn't good enough. Nottingham Forest a difficult team away from home. It was a draw. Should have done better. Salvaged a point against Tottenham, but we were down to 10 men. Again, players down tool up for 20, 30-minute spells. What are we supposed to do with that? This is a habit that has been going on at Man United for ages. For ages. That we down tool for 20, 30-minute spells. We have a good period of the game, whether that's first half, second half. We have good periods. And don't you think it's amazing that when Man United concede, we start playing football? So why is that? Is that because of Ruben Amorim? Is that because of Ruben Amorim that when we concede and we're 1-0 down, we start playing football? Is that because of Ruben Amorim? And this is what I'm saying. Now, as I said, again, I reiterate, I clarify. This is not Ruben Amorim in. I'm Ruben Amorim in all day long. He's invincible. He's not to be touched. Rah. No. I'm talking about things as a conversation on the ins and outs, the birds and the bees, about why and if and when and what and how. This is what it is at the end of the day. Unfortunately, people have a narrative and it is simplistic. The Ruben Amorim thing is simplistic. It's simplistic. It's the man dem talk, right? That is what the man dem talk is. The simpletons, right? That's what it is. I want to look at things on a whole. If Ruben Amorim got sacked tomorrow, I'm not going to cry my eyes out. That's life in football. Managers get sacked. But what I am going to do is that I'm going to call it out what is needed at Man United. If Ruben Amorim got sacked, who's going to come in? Where's the argument here? No one has an answer for that one. That old chestnut. Who's going to come into Man United then? Who's going to change Man United? What's going to happen here? Who's going to do it? You know what I mean? FM, like slot with Dutch players, Amorim is favouring his Portuguese players and can unsettle squads and players. Yeah, it can. But at the end of the day, we move Dalot. Who are we going to play? If Mainoo's ill-disciplined, we move Bruno. Who is going to play? And that's the thing. We have to look at that as well, right? And we have to argue that point as well. Sir Alex Ferguson favours Scottish players. McClare, his own son. Darren Ferguson played for Man United. Can you believe it? You know what I mean? Darren Fletcher played every single week for Man United. You know, at the end of the day, it happens. It's communication. AK, shit Jim can't fix anything for us. He's a broke billionaire. I agree. So in any workplace, if the owners do not care about the workers, do not get work standards come from the top. For once, let the players go before the manager, then back him fully. And this is exactly my argument. Now, look, I'm going to back whatever happens, and that is me. I back whatever happens. I want success for Man United. Ultimately, I don't care who manages Man United. I just want success for this football club. Finally, what we deserve, of course. That's what I want. But it would be refreshing if that did happen. Look, I think they're going to give him to the end of the season. I think this sacking business is just dumbfounded. They're not going to sack him. I think it will last to the end of the season. I think that is what's going to happen. And then obviously we move on from there and see, we reevaluate where we are at the end of the season, not in the beginning of December. But, you know, as I said, guys, there is a huge possibility Man United could be top 4 in Christmas. Let that sink in. Right? Arsenal have lost 2 games. Man United lost 4 games. 2-4. 2-4. Not much difference there. Right, Arsenal picking up more wins, but this league is very unpredictable, guys. You know what I mean? We have to look at this. This league, no one is running away. No one is running away from anybody in this league, guys. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about here. Nobody. If you don't see improvement, I don't think I think you just have an agenda against the manager, and that's it. Hey, what's going on? Spill the chai. What's going on? Sal, please explain the terrible substitutions against West Ham. I just have. Who do you want him to bring on? Do you want him to make no substitutions? You take off Casemiro, you bring on Ugarte. Mainoo's not on number 6; he's a number 8. So you bring on Ugarte from Casemiro. That's a natural substitution. It's not his fault that the players are not good enough. Maybe Ineos should have backed him in the summer. Hey, the midfield, the wing backs. There's your answer. What do you want him to do? Dalot or Dorgu? None of them are his. Who's Bella? Dalot or Dorgu? Ahmad right wing back. Who else at right wing back? Explain. Who are you going to play at right wing back? Mantato? Do you want to bring in for the reserves? So when you get a 4 out of 10 window, this is what happens. Especially players that are not good enough. You know what I mean? And what do you want Ruben Amorim to do? Just say, okay, no substitutions. We just carry on playing that team even though they're on their knees. Because we all know the fitness levels of this team are off the radar. They're off the charts. They're rubbish at the end of the day, right? There's your answer. True, bro. We have players that is weak mentality. I think they are just money driven. They are money driven, mate. They are money driven. And I think Terry said it right. I think Terry said it right the other day. And big up Terry Flewers, by the way. He said these players are spoiled. They're like petulant little children who are used to success, who are used to everything and have coming their way. So they're very spoiled and they throw their rattles at their pram. We've got a spoiled team, all right? So when things don't go their way, they throw their rattles at their pram. Instead of focusing on how we're going to win this game, how we're going to get over the line, they throw their rattles at the pram. And the picture of this, the cover of this Petulance is our captain. Throwing arms around. But again, I bring it into everyone on the stream, right? These legends in the stream, right? I bring it on. What do you want him to do if he's got a 4 out of 10 window? Now, when the new manager comes in, if he comes in, if we get a new manager, whatever happens, what be will be. Are these players going to suddenly, is Luke Shaw suddenly going to become prime Roberto Carlos? Is Harry Maguire going to become Paolo Maldini? Is Bruno Fernandes going to become Kevin De Bruyne? Is Casemiro going to become Roy Keane? No, they're not, are they? And this is what we're talking about here. The quality's not there. And until you if you bring in a manager with a distinctive style of play, you have a distinctive window. You have the players that fit that system, everything. Just like Chelsea have done, Liverpool have done, Arsenal have done, Man City have done. The same thing. The same thing. Did you see that lovely Rabona assist from Turkey yesterday? Where did Turkey come from? January bloody signing. And this is what we're talking about. Quality, replacements. You know, and that's what it is, guys. Yeah, game by game turns out. Big up, my friend. Bro, guarantee next season will hugely improve. Let's hope so, mate. Big up. Slices of sip. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you. Of course, in Formula One, they keep changing the driver. If the car was broken, then that right there. What an analogy, guys. I can't beat William with that analogy. That is just, that analogy there. That is like, goodness me, guys. That is just what an analogy that one is. You know what I mean? Exactly that. Or if you got a Ferrari and you keep, anyway, I'm not going to go down that way. It's a brilliant one. You cannot use a Formula One as an example to football, mate, as is completely different. Yeah, you can. If you got a poor car, you're not going to win the race. That's it. You know, basically, you're not going to win the race, Slices of Sib. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, basically what he's saying, Slices of Sib, if you know, no matter what driver you have, you could have Lewis Hamilton in the car. If you're driving with a Ford Escort in a Formula One race, you're not going to win it, innit? That's exactly it. It's a bit like my analogy going into a sword fight with a breadstick. That's basically what it is. You know what I mean? Big up, guys. Morning, Jengas. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Like and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate all of you. Absolutely. Players equals crap. Absolutely box. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're blessed. Glazer and Jim out, Irfan and Qatar, Saudi in UAE come in, and only way Man United can go back to the top. I can't disagree with that. Euro's all right. He's only 20 years old. We have to be careful of him, of course. Baxter, looks like about to rain. What a shame. I got the ammo. It's a shine. That's a big up, my friend. William, don't get baited into manager out bullshit. It's ownership. Stop letting them get away with it. Exactly, William. And this is exactly, people are far too easily baited. It's something that I've said for many, many years. People are far too easily baited. Big up, Garrett. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you. Benny. I agree with Ahmad about Euro. No, Euro is Euro will be a big player. Absolutely, 100. Anderson 100. Big up, absolutely, yeah. Anderson 100, mate. Big up, Daryl. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Tyrell. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you again. Bless up the community, of course. Bruno is good, but not great. He's not great leading. Exactly, Max. I agree with that one, of course. Smash a like, subscribe. Big up the legend. That is Tyro. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing blessed, my guy. Hope everything is good with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Crystal Palace, 5 years. I don't know what that means. Spent 200 million, but shipped out Varane, Sancho, Martial, Rasmus, Anthony, Ericsson, Evans, Lindelof, Rashford, Garnacho, Onana, Collier, Hannibal, Sancho, etc. And those had 4 brought in. And the truth shall set you free. And the truth shall set you free. I've exorcised the demon. That's what I've done. I've exorcised the demon. There you go, guys. The truth from Jengas will set you free, guys. It's right there, live in living color. There you go, guys. Right there. The truth will set you free. Miracles. Miracles. That's what people expect, isn't it? Miracles, guys. Miracle. Whoa, it's a miracle. Absolutely. There you go, guys. There's your answer to everyone. Jenga shut down, Jenga. Shut down. Rewind, shut down. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Coco. Big up, Coco. Coco. The fact that when we sub players in, we start suffering is the absolute proof that the personnel coming in is weak. Exactly. And they're not, you know what the funny thing is, Coco? You know when players come in, they're meant to be ready, right? We're frozen. We're not training hard enough. We're not running up and down that touch line. We're not training. We're not getting warmed up properly. And that's one thing that I would say. But people will blame the manager for subbing. Incredible. What? And Coco, what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? Not sub. Exactly. What do you want him to do? Not sub anyone. It's crazy. Absolutely. Squad's wafer thin on quality and numbers, and that's a fact. Fans expecting miracles from Amram. Jengi Sanjuan enough. One isn't the Sancho's enough. He done all right yesterday, Darren. Set up a goal. Big up. It's better we have a proper rebuild. Exactly. That is what it's all about. Guys, I want to thank everyone who's joined me today. Really appreciate it. Great chat as usual, guys. Stretford Post is the base to be. Good morning, Christian. Let me just say good morning to the legend, Christian. Morning, Sal mentality. They don't know how lucky they are to play for United. Spot on, Christian. Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, big up, everyone. Have a great day, great evening. We'll be back later on, so don't forget to join me for that. Keep your notifications on, so whenever I go live, you guys will be around to witness it, of course, guys, if you want to. If you like, of course, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Great discussions. One way is up. The only way is up, baby. Absolutely, guys. And we want Man United to succeed. That's the only thing. Bring on board Wolverhampton Wanderers. We got an opportunity to move into those Champions League positions. Can we do it? Can we do it this time? Can we accept a piece of the pie? Right? Finally, guys. Finally. Guys, thank you. Ineos have Mandem mentality. They want the Mandem mentality. That's what Ineos want. They want Mandem in the house, guys. Good. Big up, Benny. Good show. Have a good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. Have a great one. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. See you soon, guys. Peace.